Welcome to my office. You said you wanted to discuss the foundation of ethics, am I right?
Yeah, that is right. I think ethics is awesome, but I can't figure out how to justify a normative theory.
Yes, I see. That is a very fascinating subject indeed. Let me start by defining two opposite views. On one side we have robust realism, on the other we have robust anti-realism. The realist believes that there are moral facts in the world, and that these facts render ethical statements true or false. On the other hand, there are anti-realists, the most extreme of which claim that ethical statements can never be propositions and hence don't have a truth value. Then there are all the positions in between, for instance error theorists, that hold that moral language express propositions, all of which are false, since they deny that there are moral facts. In the middle of the spectrum we find relativists of different kinds. These might hold that moral statements are true only in relation to a certain culture or the like. I classify them as anti-realists, but we could call them weak realists as well.
Yes, I see. But which of the views is the right one?
I like your spirit, lad. To decide between the views we must first take a look at the more specific claims. An obvious question to ask the realist is, for instance, what he means by moral fact. This question is not easily answered and has led some to form skeptic hypotheses. For instance, the famous error theorist, Mackey, who argues that the idea of a fact which is not physical, not mathematical or logical, and which motivates one to act in accordance with it, is very peculiar. He argues that the category of moral facts is in fact so queer that this in itself is enough to regard it as false. He says that if we allow such a category to exist, we must believe in something like the forms, like those Plato describes. This is called argument from queerness. Basically, the argument purports to show that sentences such as, that man is evil, are predicating of the man that he has a property, evil, so that the term evil corresponds to something in the world. However, this thing would be too strange, so in fact we are justified in believing that the sentence is false, evilness does not exist.
I see. So the right view is that moral is bullshit, am I right?
I like you, lad, I really do. You are very bright. Perhaps the brightest amongst us. If you like you can stay, but I warn you, the answer to your questions are rather tricky. But I guess you already know that, right Horatio?
Yes, Professor, I know. That is why I came to you. You are the only person I can talk to. The only person that really understands me. I had an old friend, Ryan Alquist, but he was never anything but a complex pet to me. Like a dog. In you, on the other hand, I see an ally, one I can relate to and who can relate to me.
That is the burden of being special. And trust me, you are very special. Now, let us dissect the difficult questions at hand. Let us examine which theory is the right one. Let us look for the hidden truth. First of all, the error theory of Mackey is not as plausible as it might appear at first sight. Is argument from queerness really a knockdown argument? If you think about it, the concept queer is very obscure. What is he really accusing moral realism of? He seems to be saying that since moral facts are different than other types of facts, they are queer. But one should be puzzled if this wasn't the case, if moral facts were indeed identical with other types of facts. Isn't the whole point in having a category which is distinguished from another, that they are not the same? I mean, it seems to me that Mackey is using one kind of facts as paradigm for what should be considered a typical fact, but it seems rather problematic since what the realist is claiming is exactly the opposite, that there are different kinds of facts in the world.
My gosh, I had never thought of that, Professor. You are really inspiring. This is so much better than hanging out with my old friends. Like Ryan. He is simply too shallow. I see nothing mysterious in him. He is like an open book. You, on the other hand, you just keep surprising me. When you are talking it is like wine flows from your lips, and I am eager to drink every drop to let your wisdom intoxicate me. If you were a drug, I would be addicted to it. Like, stick your dick into me.
Lad, I really like you. Maybe we should have dinner someday. Because frankly you surprise me too. You are a wonder child. I think I can say that without being at risk of saying something untrue. You are a magnificent wonder child. A beast of nature. You will write history, that much is certain. Wow, that is all I have to say. Wow, what a boy.